Alright, as requested from one of my patrons, now it's time to make a redirector. Redirectors are tools that allows us to chain the execution of any seed to our program through additional hosts, which can help us be evasive, help us not getting our IP blocked, and it's a must to do things when performing any kind of engagement. Now, in order to showcase how this demo operates, I've set up a very simple environment. This is my Kali machine where I set up my Sliver server, then I have my Ubuntu machine which is gonna act as my redirector, and then I have my command VM which is going to be again the victim. So now let me first go to my Kali video and generate everything I need to do for that backend Sliver framework. Now I already had some jobs running, so I can do jobs actually remove and jobs -q and then jobs. I think that's it. Now if I run jobs, nothing is gonna be present, so I can do clear. And now let's start from the very beginning. Let's first create a new MTLS listener. So that's been done with the command MTLS, and now I want to specify the port to be 443. After I run that, we can see that I have an MTLS running on that specific port. Now the next thing is to actually generate a beacon and then set up the redirector, or we can do it opposite. Does not really matter. Let me first actually, I think it's gonna be easier if we just set up the redirector. Now when it comes to redirector, you may expect something very complex and difficult, but in a nutshell, that's the easiest actual part from that video. We just need one socket command. So this socket command, of course, needs to be run as sudo, is going to redirect all TCP traffic from port 443 to my Kali IP, which is again 443. Just for the reference, if I do a new tab and do ifconfig, my IP on the Ubuntu machine is actually 192.168.0.110, but the IP of the Kali machine is actually 0.106, and now we pretty much say that with socket we can redirect all the traffic to 110 to 106. Now I run that, and pretty much that's my redirector. Now it comes tricky now, because now we need to generate a beacon to be connecting to the redirector and not our machine. In that case, that's been done with Sliver with generate beacon -m, because if I do -h, you can see that -m is actual for MTLS, which is there, and -b is actually for HTTPS, which is right there. So I need to do generate beacon -m, and now specify the IP 192.168.0.110, the redirector IP, not my IP. Alright, now I get a beacon from my previous testing, but don't keep it that, but keep it away for now. And now the port needs to be 443, and the format needs to be exe in that case. Why exe? Because I'm gonna use my packer to get the beacon to run, so we're just gonna see how it works in just a minute. Now, while the beacon is generated, let me sure that I set up the socket tunnel. It's up and running. Now my port 443 is occupied, and it's listening and just redirecting all the traffic it has. Alright, and now let me see, the beacon is generated, and it's called useless array.exe. I'm gonna just set up a new Python HTTP server to actually transfer the beacon into my redirector, because from there I'm gonna change the attack, and useless array.exe, I can save that. Now I'm gonna open a new tab and then move downwards the useless array to here, and now set up my packer to host it and stage it over my command VM machine. That's been easily done with the command python 3 shadowburn server water.py -f and useless rayon.exe. That's all it's needed to do in order to create the needed files and to stage it, so I can run that. Now after that's been done, I can go over to my command machine there, actually from here, and now I can just run my shadowburn command, which is shadowburn.exe. After I run that, you can see the IP is different, so I can specify different IP with the option IP, and I'll specify the IP of the Ubuntu machine, which is 0.110. I run that, and now we can see it successfully loaded the binary. If we go to the Ubuntu page, we can see the requests, but if we go to the Kali machine, we can actually see the beacon just spawning right away. And by the way, if you want to access the Shadowburn Packer and also my private notes and private videos and the ability to request videos on demand, feel free to become my patron if you have further appreciation for the channel. Now, if you observe the traffic and follow the chain, the traffic and the beacon is generated for the Ubuntu machine, but since the socket is running, it's actually hosting its own interface and redirecting all the traffic it occurs to mine. Now don't get me wrong, there are various types of configuration for different redirectors. You can use Quout, you can use different kind of tools. This is the one I found to be the most easiest way to actually redirect some kind of a traffic. Of course, feel free to implement anything you want into the custom, but keep in mind that it does not need to be so complex if it works. If it works, it works. So that's also from my side. Now you can enjoy your beacons, which are originated from the Ubuntu machine, and now you learn how to actually set up redirectors. See you to the next one.